Hey there, hi there, ho there, my name is Thomas and welcome to another installment of Amusing History, a monthly series where I cover the history and fun facts in some of your favorite Disney rides. This month we'll cover one of my all-time favorite attractions, Splash Mountain. This is also probably going to be one of the most controversial videos that I have ever made, but that's history for you. Now make sure to keep your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the log at all times through this video. Without further ado, here we go. The idea of Splash Mountain was originally conceived in the summer of 1983 by Imagineer Tony Baxter while stuck in rush hour traffic on his way to work. He wanted to attract guests to the often empty Bear Countryland, with the only attraction as the Country Bear Jamboree, which was later closed in 2001, plus a souvenir shop, and make use of the audio animatronics from the recently closed America Sings. America Sings was an attraction at Disneyland from 1974 to 1988, featured a cast of audio animatronic animals that entertained the audience by singing songs from the various periods in America's musical history, often in a humorous fashion. I'll talk more about this attraction in a future video. It was Dick Nunes who insisted that the Imagineers create a log flume for Disneyland, but the Imagineers were initially unenthusiastic about it, insisting that log flumes were too ordinary. While trying to solve the problems of including a log flume, bringing people into Bear Country, and reusing the America Sings characters, Baxter then thought of Song of the South. Never heard of this movie? Well, that's because it's one of the most controversial things to have ever happened in Disney history. The Song of the South movie is based on the collection of Uncle Remus, oral folktale stories by African Americans from the South as adapted by Joel Chandler Harris. The film takes place in the southern United States during the Reconstruction era, a period of American history shortly after the end of the American Civil War and the abolition of slavery. The story follows 7-year-old Johnny, who is visiting his grandmother's plantation for an extended stay. Johnny befriends Uncle Remus, one of the workers on the plantation, and takes joy in hearing his tales about the adventures of Brer Rabbit, Brer Fox, and Brer Bear. Johnny learns from the stories how to cope with the challenges he's experiencing living on the plantation. This was a passion project for Walt Disney, who was only able to have the film released November 12th of 1946. The worst part, in my opinion, is that James Baskett, who played Uncle Remus, was unable to attend the world premiere of his own movie that he starred in because the premiere took place in a whites-only theater. Maybe now you can see why this movie is so controversial, and also why it's nearly impossible to find anywhere. Construction for Splash Mountain began at Disneyland in April 1987. By that time, Splash Mountain, whose budget had risen greatly to $75 million, had become one of the most expensive projects created by Walt Disney Imagineering. To put into perspective, the entire park cost around $17 million to build back in 1955, which translated to around $80 million in 1987. According to Alice Davis, who was a wife of the late Mark Davis, when America Sings closed in April of 1988, production of Disneyland Splash Mountain had gone far over budget, and so the only way to recover was to close down America Sings and use the characters from that attraction. As a result, we have a lot of happy birds singing zip-a-dee-doo-dah. Baxter and his team developed the concept of Zip-a-dee River Run, which would incorporate themes from Song of the South. The name was later changed to Splash Mountain after then CEO Michael Eisner's mostly ignored suggestion that the attraction be used to help market the film Splash. The characters from America Sings were used in many scenes, though all the main characters were specifically designed for Splash Mountain. Dave Feighton was then brought in to animate and fix story and staging problems. Feighton moved nearly all the animatronics to new locations, removing 10 animatronic figures from the ride completely to improve the show. A version of the popular attraction was planned for Disneyland Paris, but was scrapped due to budget reasons and the cold weather in Europe. The planned grand opening on July 17, 1989 didn't go quite as hoped for. Early riders made up of company executives were getting quite soaked rather than lightly sprayed, so the ride open date had to be delayed for months so that the boats could be redesigned to hold fewer passengers, to build them lighter, and to redesign the bottom and bow to make them less likely to splash so much water aboard. In 1991, construction began for Splash Mountain at Walt Disney World's Magic Kingdom and Tokyo Disneyland. On July 17, 1992, soft openings began at the Magic Kingdom. The two Splash Mountains officially opened within a day of each other in October 1992. The Magic Kingdom attraction opened on October 1st, and the Tokyo Disneyland attraction opened October 2nd. In January 2011, Splash Mountain and Magic Kingdom received lap bars for safety reasons. Each row of 2 or 3 passengers shares one lap bar. Meanwhile, Tokyo Disneyland received individual lap bars, which makes the height restriction 5 inches shorter than the other 2 versions. The plot behind Splash Mountain is composite of several Uncle Remus stories. The different versions of Splash Mountain feature similar stories with small differences. Each ride presents scenes taken from the animated segments of Song of the South, telling the story of Brer Rabbit, the protagonist, a mischievous hero who leaves his home in search for adventure. Brer Fox and Brer Bear, the antagonists of the story, are determined to catch him, but are repeatedly tricked into letting him free. The sharp-witted Brer Rabbit avoids a snare trap, as described in Brer Rabbit Earns $1 a Minute, and uses it to trap Brer Bear instead. Brer Rabbit continues on his journey to find his laughing place. Out of curiosity, his foes follow, but only for Brer Rabbit to lead them into a cavern of bees. Brer Fox eventually catches Brer Rabbit in a beehive and threatens to roast him. Brer Rabbit uses reverse psychology on Brer Fox, begging the fox not to throw him into the briar patch, as described in The Tar Baby. Naturally, Brer Fox throws Brer Rabbit into the briar patch, represented by the ride's picturesque flume drop. Brer Rabbit escapes uninjured, remarking, "I was born and raised in the briar patch." The other animals rejoice to have Brer Rabbit back home, while Brer Fox and Brer Bear are last seen narrowly escaping the jaws of Brer Gator. And there you have it, lost folks. Hopefully you learned a thing or two about the history of Disney Splash Mountain. My community question for this video is, if Splash Mountain was to be rethemed, which Disney movie should take over? Now don't just say Princess and the Frog, because that's too easy. Let me know in the comments section below. The best comment will be featured in the next video. Like this video if you learned something new. Second Star is on a Sunday, Wednesday schedule, so subscribe and hit that notification bell. And as always, my name is Thomas. Make sure to keep those happy little thoughts, and I will see you in the next video.